Hey, how's it going? You're a little fuzzy there. Let me fix that. Ta-da! So, today I had kind of an oops moment. So my family's selling our truck, and so sometimes people will come over and it's like test drive the truck or look at it or whatever. And so like it has a problem with the transmission, not the transmission, sorry, radiator. And with the radiator, it leaks. So the antifreeze and whatever, it like you have to keep constantly refilling it every once in a while. And so I went out to go check that, and my dad's like, "Hey, can you go check this before the guy comes over to look at it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go do that." So as I'm walking out to do this, the guy shows up. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I just kind of like casually walk over to the truck because I didn't know. I thought there's a park across the street from our house. I thought it was like a guy going to the park or whatever. It's like, no, it was a guy coming to see us. So like like casually start going look at the stuff and like pop open the hood and he comes over and he's like, "I'm here to like you here to look at the truck?" And he says yeah and whatever. And I'm like, "Okay, let me just check some stuff real quick." And start talking to him and he asks questions and he looks around the truck and all this stuff. He starts looking at this stuff with me. And like I opened the radiator cap to check the antifreeze. It was about half full, so I'm like, "Yeah, that's okay." And so like we keep talking. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Well, can I take it for a test drive?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Let me just hop in. We get in, go for a test drive. It was really good. Like the guy seemed like in love with the truck. It was awesome. And so like we're going through and talking about all this stuff, and like the radiator's really the only problem with it, and blah 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 blah. And anyway, and like he's asking questions. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know all that much about cars. Like I know a bit. Like I know a decent amount, but not all that much, especially about this one. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, whatever." So he's like, "No other problems besides that?" And we're like finishing the drive, pulling in my driveway. I'm like, "Nope, it's good. That's about it." We pull into the driveway, and then all of a sudden you see smoke just start coming up from the hood, and I'm like, "Oh crap!" So I hurry and like, it's like, "Hey, can you pop the hood for me?" and all this stuff, and like, the guy driven a motorcycle there, so he had these gloves and helmet there, and like you could tell it was all steamy. And he's like, we're like, I like try and grab the handle and pop the hood, and he's like, too hot. He's like, "Well, do you need my glove?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So that was all awkward, and like, pop the hood on this thing, steam coming everywhere, like classic movie, like kind of a thing. And I hope that's the thumbnail, like the whole. Anyway, so like all this, and then I realized I hadn't put the radiator cap back on correctly. Nice. Oh man. Oh well. Just stupid mistakes, and I hope the guy's like, "Well, mind if I come back and drive it another time to make sure that doesn't happen?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's just my stupid mistake for not screwing the cap on right, but yeah, sure, whatever. Come on back and drive it again." It was just like, oh my goodness, it was so dumb. I felt like it's such an idiot, and yeah, oops. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed now. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you around.